Good morning, everybody. Chef Colin from Nourish and Vibe. Let me straighten this camera out a little bit. Hope everyone's having a great day. I really want to talk about how to handle the problem of the plate coming back from the customer back to the kitchen. But first, before I do that, I want to talk about a steal real quick. We all have these in our butcher blocks at home. 90% of families have these, and 95% are not being used. So all this is it takes a rolled edge in your knife and straightens it out. It doesn't sharpen it. It just takes a rolled edge and straightens it. Because after using our knives, cutting vegetables, butchery, chopping garlic, it rolls our edge. Doesn't necessarily dull it, but rolls it. And all this does is 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes a rolled edge and straightens it again. So just take it at home, grab your favorite knife, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's probably all it needs until it starts to work itself to death and starts to get dull. So everybody has a knife still at home. 1, 2, 3, 4. Incredibly easy to use, and it keeps your knife sharp. And always use them after a project. Okay, how to handle the problem of plates coming back from the kitchen. I'm going to do a little pre-work. The first thing I do every morning when I come in is I grab a bucket of clean spoons and a bucket of empty spoons. I go through them, the whole line of mise en place. Boom, taste it. Does it need salt? Is it going bad? Does it need vinegar? Does it need nothing? I put the dirty spoon in the dirty bucket, and I move to the next mise en place with the clean spoon. That's line checking your line. You will catch 98% of problems that way. And it's all about having tricks in the bag and catching problems before they start. Line checking everything every morning. And that's with the proteins. That's with the chopped garlic. That's with your chopped herbs getting oxidized. That's with everything. And if it's something wrong and needs seasoning or it's turning, you grab the 9-pan or the container it's in, you lift it out of the hole and you leave it on top, and then you go to the next one. And so when you're done line checking, you know what containers need to be, what mise en place need to be fixed, and because they're all above the station. You go through your walk-in, you make sure your milks are getting rotated, you make sure all your Cambros are properly dated and nothing's sitting in there that's 2 weeks old. Incredibly important. We're dealing with food that goes into people's systems. We don't want to get anybody sick. And if a complaint comes back from the kitchen, we want to take that very seriously. Some chefs have a big ego problem, and they can't humble themselves to really look and empathize through the customer's eyes. It works from the customer to us. It doesn't work from the kitchen to them. We're here to please. We're here to make people happy through food, to keep a high vibration. That's why I'm here. And if they see that a chef is on top of fixing a problem or getting to the bottom of it, it's huge. Another thing you got to do as executive chef or the sous chef is when you're expediting the line, you got to make sure everyone is cooking properly. They put a saute pan on the flame. They wait for it to get hot. Put a drop of water on it. Make sure it dances. I used to work in this place years ago that we did 1,100 people for lunch. All the chefs would put a cold pan down, cold olive oil, cold garlic, cold cherry tomatoes, and wait for it to come up and sizzle, and then start flipping it, put pasta in it, send it out the window. That's not how you get flavors. A hot pan. Then you put your oil in, and you wait for your oil to start dancing. You throw your garlic in. It gets a little color. It gets translucent. It takes 10 seconds. You get your cherry tomatoes in there. The hot oil blisters it. That's how proper flavors are extracted out of ingredients. There's a process to everything. You're not going to put a ribeye on a cold grill, turn the grill on, or just season one side of it. That drives me crazy. You got the steak. You season both sides of it. Maybe just coat it lightly with a little bit of olive oil. Let it sit there for a minute. Let the seasoning soak in. Then throw it on the grill and don't move it. Let color and grill marks. Color is flavor. Color is your best friend when you're trying to do great foods. And then you want to get proper grill. You want to keep moving it like this, and it just barely gets any color. The marks are all off on it. That's not how great flavors are made. But as executive chef and a sous chef, You're on the outside of that line reading tickets to these guys, watching all this go down. You can't blame them half the time. The ticket machine is barking. It's 115 degrees in the kitchen. They're just trying to get food out as fast as possible. But you as the expediter are the captain of the ship. You have got to not also expedite foods, but guide them into success and slow them down a little bit. Because when speed cooking becomes a problem, flavors just leave the picture. And you got steamed pasta dishes that just don't turn out great, steaks that don't have beautiful grill marks. And you just want to get down to the bottom of the problem of why that plate came back in the first place. And so there's just a huge wide angle you have to look at. And like I said in the beginning, if a customer sees that you're getting to the bottom of it and you're trying to fix it, and whatever it is, they love that. So it just gives you a cost when that happens to when a plate comes back. Humble yourself, because it gives you an area that maybe you haven't looked at for 2 days. You're constantly looking at a saute guy because he's new. And maybe your grill guy, the complaint came from the grill guy. You're like, oh, okay, well, he's been here for 3 years. You kind of stop looking at those people, but then you're like, oh, I'm gonna start looking at him again and make sure he's not speed cooking or make sure he's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. Whenever I make a menu, I do a plate spec sheet. I put a picture of the dish right here, of the final dish, and then I put the process of cooking that dish right here. And this is the final pic right here of what it looks like. This is the process. Put a hot pan down, get the oil in the pan for 2 minutes until it starts to sing, throw garlic, cook until translucent for 10 seconds. The whole process. And all the station guys have their plate spec book. So when you have a saute guy go to the grill side that hasn't worked grill for 2 years, he goes to the plate spec book and just refreshes on how all the plates need to look when he's working that station. It's incredibly important, and you will be amazed how freaking consistent your food will come out every single time when there's a plate spec sheet, because this also, the line guys will keep every one of the other guys accountable for their dishes. And that's what's great about spec sheets. Because like I said too, we're putting out food. We don't want to lose a customer. That could be $1,000 to $1,500 or even more a year, and he'll go somewhere else. So it's really important that you look at all these areas. And that's if you have a really good sous chef. There's just so many little things you got to look at, and quality and customer service and customer retention is all of it, and being consistent. And if you're line checking, if you got plate specs, if you're going through the walk-in, if all your staff know how to rotate and date, everybody will keep everybody accountable. And that's a beautiful thing once you see that in your kitchen. So I just wanted to talk about that. Next video, I'm going to be talking about how to make money off food in a economy where food is really expensive. And so I'm going to kind of go over my recipe of making menus of getting cheaper cuts of meat and turning them into $30 a pound piece of meats. And so it's going to be a great video. I hope everybody has a blast. I have some epic recipes coming your way. Please like and subscribe. Support Nourish and Vibe. I love you all.